Hello and welcome. This is a thrift store haul. I haven't been to a thrift store in I don't know how long, but I guess that's what I'm going to start doing as well. I'm going to start out with one package that I did get in the mail today. Was a Dollar Tree trade. Not much there. That's why I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video or not, but I picked up enough for the thrift store to do one today. This one I already picked up. He reminded me after he saw one of my other videos, but I didn't have the slip sleeve. So, Orphan Horse, now I have the slip sleeve, and I was alright with that. So, that wasn't that big a deal. The other movie I got from him here was Frenzy. I didn't see too many people actually picking this one up. Like a little shark movie. So this might be interesting. 2 discs. And then another magnet title is Surveillance. So this is now I already had the DVD, so I also now have the Blu-ray. I'd ordered a package from Amazon. Said it was supposed to be here Wednesday. Then at some point today, it said it was out to be delivered for my 2 movies. So I was like, okay. One of them, then I get it. My Echo, my Echo popped up. So I checked and it said that my package was delivered and handed to somebody. I was like, well, I'm like 10 feet away from the front door. So I know I didn't hand it to anybody because my wife's been sleeping most of the time since she's had surgery. So I open the door, I look, nothing sitting out on the front porch. Drive down to the mailbox, nothing in the mailbox. Come back, call Amazon. I was like, what's the deal? Why does it say it's been delivered if it hasn't been delivered, or at least not to me? And she assures me that it's out. The guy's in my neighborhood. He should be there today. If not, supposedly I have until like 5 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. So if I don't get it by Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to call and complain again. I told him, I was like, they need to stop this. These drivers need to start paying attention. It's not that hard to go to somebody's house and drop off a package. I know Amazon's all high tech. I had somebody I work with now who used to work there, and he told me all this stuff, that the shelves go running around and come to you. So I know they got to be high tech making their deliveries. So just a little rant. Getting kind of annoyed. Now, to the thrift store pickups. I went to 3 thrift stores. The third one I went to, I actually got one of those like CD shelves. It's actually from IKEA. I don't know, I think they're like $20, $30 or more. But they had it for $8, and I was like, I'll get it. So it's 6 foot tall, you know, about CD size width. And I've already kind of like piled it up and cleared off the top shelf of all my box sets and the bigger items to kind of fit in there, along with the CD size movies I had. So it's just out of the way for right now till I do some other stuff. But that was the third thrift store that I went to. So what I have to show is between the first and the second store. It was the same company, but one's by my house and one's over in the other area. Picked this up. I was pretty sure I had it, but now I can give it to my nephew and niece. Is Marvel's Ultimate Avengers 2. This was in good shape and everything, so nice pick up for them. And then they didn't even charge me the right prices, because it was saying that DVDs were supposed to be $1, Blu-rays were $2, VHS were supposed to be, if it was Disney, it was $1, if it was anything else, it was 50 cents. So the first store I went to, I had already figured it was going to be $7 plus taxes, and it was under $6. So I don't know how that came about. The second store, I figured it was going to be 22 plus, and it ended up being under 16. So I ain't complaining. I'd rather spend less. But another one I picked up for my brother, because I already had this, and I have the widescreen. So I don't think he's going to really be picky about it, but he'll at least have it, is the Clerks 2. And fortunately, it's in the full frame, which is pan and scan. Anybody who remembers that being called pan and scan. So, and these were in good shape. The only thing I didn't like about it is the bins are like kind of like the Walmart bins, where everything is just piled in there. You can't look through stuff. So, since the stuff isn't in that great a shape, I'm just brushing stuff around, just trying to look. I already had this. I picked up at Goodwill at one point, but this is a different cover, because this is actually a Miramax Collector's Series version. So the disc number had a different number, so this actually has more bonus material on it than the previous one I had. So now I'll see if my brother wants, and that is Swingers. It's got a lot more bonus features on it. Is just a one disc, so I wasn't sure, but the number on the spine actually matches the disc, and the one that I had is a different number. I also found this, which is this is disc 3 from the DVD of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. This is a deluxe edition, all new special feature disc. Actually like the shiny chrome look to it. I like picking up all the bonus discs. Like for the other one, I had picked up the Target and Walmart extra disc and compiled them into a bigger case. And this says disc 3. So something there. This I hadn't had, or I haven't even seen this since I believe I saw this at the movies. So I just figured I'd go ahead and get it until I can upgrade it to a Blu-ray. And that's, since it was a widescreen edition, is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. At the time, I didn't even realize it was Martin Friedman in it, and Sam Rockwell, and who else was it in here? I can see his face. I can't remember his name. Mos Def, I believe, is who it is. Yeah, Mos Def. But now I'll get to watch this again. I haven't seen this since it was released, which was. I hate looking for dates on these things because sometimes they don't ever put the date. It's ridiculous. I don't see a date, as always. But move on to the next. Now I did pick up some VHS. I ended up picking up 3. So I'm going to show you one of them I picked up here just because it was Universal Studios Florida Video Experience the Magic of Movies, hosted by John Forsythe. This actually still has the $20 tag on it, so I spent less than 50 cents for this, so hopefully it's still good. It also says approximate runtime 68 minutes, new with Jaws. So that was kind of an extra sell point. Wanted to try to get a hold of that. Also picked, I picked this up, and this was only for the case. I've already switched the case out because I didn't want this movie, but this was still shrink wrapped. This was only for the case. This case is what I've replaced. So this is gonna go back to Goodwill or thrift store, whatever. I'm just gonna donate that. But the reason I even picked out a VHS is because I found the Walt Disney classic, The Little Mermaid, with the band cover. I mean, I don't know if you can actually even see the image on it. Anybody who knows where it is and knows what it is will see it. But they had a couple different ones of the one where Ariel's larger on the picture, and I just kind of was like, kept looking, and then I saw this spine, and I was like, oh, this one looks a little different than the other one. Let me look. So, other than that, I mean, it's a little tattered along the top because it was sticking out a little high from the plastic. But just to have this rare cover was all worth it, and paying $1, if that. That was a real good find. Even if I decide to flip it, I'm sure somebody's gonna pay me a lot more than that. But right now it's just gonna hang. Then the Blu-rays that I picked up. This one's gonna be for my nieces because I have the 3D version, and this only had the Blu-ray, didn't have the combo, which it says on here is Penguins of Madagascar. The discs look perfect, so if the discs look great, I don't mind picking them up. Figure I'd do something. Same way with this. I already have the trilogy of this on Blu-ray, but this is the Blu-ray, DVD, and the digital copy disc, which doesn't have the code with it, so that disc is worthless. But that's the Expendables. So, don't know what I'm doing with that one yet either. This one here, I already had the DVD, French, I believe it was the French version. So now this has got the blue and DVD, and the DVD is a digital copy on the same disc. In time. So I was happy to move this one up to a Blu-ray. And then another one I found that I already had, but now this had the bonus disc, so that worked out. Now I can give my brother's wife the other one, since the Dollar Tree I had picked up the other 4 movies and didn't have this first one, which was Twilight. So now I've got the one with the extra disc in it. So the first disc is the same. This is the extra disc. So I was like trying to get that extra disc. Did that with like all the X-Men ones that I had. As I found them, I picked up the others. This one I already had to change out the case because the case was in pretty rough shape. But this is Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway in Bride Wars. This is a 3-disc, which is the third is the digital copy disc. But what I thought was kind of interesting on this is that it actually says 1 of 3 discs, 2 of 3 discs, and 3 of 3 discs. Normally it just says disc 1 and disc 2 or disc 3, not 2 of 3, 1 of 3. I thought that was kind of interesting on that one. Found a cartoon here. Everyone's Hero. William H. Macy, Rob Reiner, Raven Simone, and Whoopi Goldberg. Like I said, I mean, I tried to figure out what the average cost of all this was that I spent. So I technically spent like $21 to $22 for everything. So I was figuring maybe $1.10 each for everything, VHS and whatnot. So I definitely need to go back and see if they have anything else. I mean, they didn't have a lot of Blu-rays to go through, but I had to kind of hunt and pick, and I would find some. I mean, some of the stuff was there. I didn't want to buy at the time, knowing I didn't want to spend $2 for it if it was something I had, and it wasn't really worth it picking up. But here was one I did not have. I have seen this once. I vaguely remember it, but it's Mike Myers, The Love Guru. I figured this was worth picking up. It's a little tattered on the bottom of the paper here, sticking out. Nothing special on the disc. It did have a Netflix little white sticker in the center. I've already took that off and cleared that up. This was one of the first ones I found in the second store. Was Kathy Bates, Adrian Brody, Carla Bruni, Marion Cotillard, Rachel McAdams, Michael Sheen, and Owen Wilson. Midnight in Paris, written and directed by Woody Allen. So, and this is a Sony Pictures Classics. I figured this was definitely worth grabbing. I mean, especially because the discs are all in great shape. I mean, none of the ones that I took. I mean, the Brides Wars, some of them were a little rough, but I wanted to get it. The last ones here I got to show, I was excited to find, because I found this was the first one I found was Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I mean, I have the extended versions on DVD in the bookcase, and then I bought the 3-pack, which was just all 3 films on Blu-ray, the theatrical cuts, because I just wanted to make sure I had them on Blu-ray in some form, even though they weren't the extended. I had the DVDs extended. But these also came with the bonus disc. So this is the same disc that's in the other one, but these look pristine. There's no scratch, no fingerprint, nothing on this. So I found this. There was like 8 big bins. I was like just sorting through, and I'm like, okay, I got one. Worked my way around where I was actually on the other side of the bin that I found that in, and I found Fellowship of the Rings. And I was like, wow. Now I've got 2 of the 3 films, and they were all still in perfect good shape. I love the disc, the bonus disc on this one. It looks really good. And I was like, I'm gonna dig. I want to see if I can find the second film. It was like whoever donated this had to drop them all off. There's no way you have the first and the third and not the second. So I kept kind of looking, and I was like, let me go back to the box that it was already in where I found the first one. So I barely got over there. I kind of just pushed it a little bit to the side and stuck up on the side of the plastic bin. I could just barely see a Blu-ray case, because it was really hard to see because it's so dark in where I was at. So I just shoved my hand down, pulled up, because I was like, let me see what Blu-ray this is. And it ended up being The Two Towers. So I ended up with all 3 first release with the bonus disc, Lord of the Rings. So I was very excited, and that they're all pristine. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, the cases were the only things that were rough, and I think that was just for being in those bins. So I couldn't beat that. I got all 3 with bonus discs for less than $5, probably less than $4. I figure if I ended up paying $1 a piece, that was a good find. So I was happy with what I did find. don't plan on doing any running around tomorrow. So if I do a video tomorrow, it will probably be for if my package from Amazon shows up, along with whatever I get delivered in the mail from one of my Dollar Tree trades, depending on the size of it. If not, then I'll wait till Thursday and do it with the other package that'll be showing up. So I may or may not do one tomorrow. If not, it'll be Thursday. That way I can get that knocked out. But I do want to thank everybody for commenting, liking, subscribing. I'd like to help everybody out, try to find stuff if I can. So I'll leave it at that. This is about 21 minutes already. So we will see you tomorrow or the next day.